Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In this video, I'll be covering all the new content and features that were added in the major version 1.4 update that hit the servers yesterday. The first major addition is the addition of content for Mega Man 7. So we have all the musical tracks from Mega Man 7 outside of the special teams or some of the story teams in the ending. So we have the Interstage team, all of the 8 Roadmaster teams including the Alt team from Shade Man stage, as well as the 4 Y stage teams. We also have the 3 different boss teams from Mega Man 7, those being the regular Roadmaster fight, the Wily Machine fight, and the Wily Capsule fight. Let's go over the new backgrounds as well, as there were some new content pieces added from other Mega Man titles as well, but the main focus of this update is content from Mega Man 6 and especially Mega Man 7. Here we have the Wily 2 and Wily 4 backgrounds from Mega Man 1. For Mega Man 3 we have the Wily 4 background. For Mega Man 5 we have the Wily 1 background. And a whole bunch of new background teams from Mega Man 6. We have Blizzard 2, Windman 2, Flame Man 2, Tomahawk Man 2, Centaur Man 2, Nightman 2, Yamato Man 3 actually. We already have 1 and 2 over here, for looping's sake. Plant Man 2. Let's see then, all of the stage backgrounds from Mr. X's stage, those being 1, 2, 3, and 4. As well as the X2 Alt team, which takes place in space. And we have the Mega Man 6 Wily 1, 2, and 4 stage teams. Wily stage backgrounds, I mean. And from Mega Man 7, we have the backgrounds from Spring Man, Freeze Man, Slash Man, Junk Man, Shade Man, several of them from Shade Man, Burst Man, Turbo Man, Cloud Man, as well as Wily 1. We are missing a few, like the later Y stages, and I believe one of the Roadmaster stage level teams, or a few of them, but I suppose they will be added in the near future. Now let's move on to the new tile sets. Also from Mega Man 1, we have the tile set from Wily 2, 3, and 4. Not sure why these weren't added earlier. For Mega Man 2 we have the Wily 3 tile. For Mega Man 3, we have the tiles from 4, 5, and 6. From Darkman, we have Darkman 4. Mega Man 6, we have Wily 1, 2, and 3, as well as an alternative version of Wily 2, as well as Mr. X2. Now on to Mega Man 7, we have Springs, Freeze Man, Slash Man, Junk Man, Shade Man, Burst Man, Turbo Man, Cloud Man, and Wily 1. So we do have parity with the backgrounds, but there are a whole bunch of more tile sets to be added for Mega Man 7. Nothing new in terms of players, although looking at all these blank spaces, in the near or far future, we'll probably have all the Roadmasters from Mega Man Powered Up added first. Oh, and can't forget, we have 3 new spike types for Mega Man 7. Freeze Man spikes, Shade Man spikes, and Wily Spike 12. Now on to the new enemies. Starting from Mega Man 3, we have the Boo Boo Cans, aka the Pole Jumpers, or Pole Vaulters I mean. No new enemies from Mega Man 1 or 2. No new enemies from Mega Man 4 either, or Mega Man 5. From Mega Man 6, we have the Curlingers, the Katon Bayons, the Bomb Flies, SRU-21, they're similar to the CWU-01P enemies from Mega Man 2, which haven't been added yet unfortunately. They're essentially their newer cousin. The Gabgios, the fish, the Pookers, they work well in combination with the oil gimmick which has been added to this game. The Cyber Gabios, the Yafus, so like fans, yeah they're basically fans that switch direction over time. And Squidon, the newest mini-boss of the game. Glad to see more mini-bosses added, but sadly we don't have any fortress bosses yet. And then, the second half of the enemies added to this update are all from Mega Man 7, of course. More than half, indeed. Tripropellan. Unlike Mega Man 1 through 6, I didn't really memorize any of the enemy names from Mega Man 7, so it'll probably take a few weeks to months in order for me to memorize all of them. Icicle Tech, Trio the Wheel, Bacon, Tom Daddy, aka the Slinky enemies. I believe there was another Slinky enemy type from Mega Man 3 or 4 or 5, I forget which. The Frisk Cannon. You know, I wish there was a larger view of each enemy if you hovered over it. Cockroach S from Junkman's level. I mean Cockroach S. The Cockroach S Nest. The Turbo Rotor. It says kill it with fire, so I wonder if they're really weak against fire-type weapons. That'd be neat to see. After all, their nests did have some interesting interactions with the Scorch Wheel back in Mega Man 7. Turbo Rotor. Are twin rotors in this game yet? If so, it seems a bit like an odd omission. Kiminari Kogoro. Ah yes, from Cloudman's level. And you can only place them at the bottom of the screen. The Cyocrones or Cycrones or Evil Crows from Shademan's level. GoBots. The wavy pattern enemies, similar to another enemy that's already in the engine, if I can figure out what it is. This one, it's like the Toguro. The Tsuranitori. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a hard time memorizing what this name is. It's the swarm of enemies that fly near you, from Cloudman's level. Just shoot one and it'll disperse the rest of them. So that's all the new enemies added, most from Mega Man 7 of course. Let's take a look at the new bosses. First off, we have Windman from Mega Man 6 as well as Flame Man. And for Mega Man 7, we have Spring Man and Shade Man. Spring Man is probably going to be the easiest one to deal with, but that may depend on how the devs altered his AI, if any. Now on to the new level objects. First off, we have the cracked blocks. These are destructible blocks that can be broken by using the power adapter on them or by punch blocks. Push blocks are similar, but they're indestructible, but it can be pushed by the power adapter or by punch blocks. Here we have the oil, black liquid that will hinder your movement. Don't let any fire enemies touch it, either from the tackle fires, the hotheads, or perhaps the fire tellies, just like in the original game. As in the original game, if they were set afire and you fell in them without any vulnerability frames left, you instantaneously died. And here are the fans. They can either be pointed upwards or downwards. Let's change the music a bit. And for Mega Man 7, we have the floor lights from Wily 1, aka where if you hit the ground, it turned off the light of the stage, and the only way to see again was to jump up. It created a neat challenge overall. Jet platform. You jump on it and it propels you forward a bit, but at a very slow rate. And here are the punch blocks from Springman's level. Once the timer runs out, it'll throw a fist upwards or whatever direction it's pointing towards. Now in terms of pickups, we have two new items. The weapon remover, which works in the reverse fashion of the weapon capsule, so you can restrict special weapons from players for certain challenges. Glad to see that this year, I can see several interesting challenges being arisen or made from this, as well as the long-awaited Yoshiki. Now we don't need to waste time with picking up a lot of weapon capsules from the weapon capsule respawners. To the next stars of the show, the new special weapons. For Mega Man 3, we have the Shadow Blade, essentially the shorter-range ninja cousin of the Metal Blade. For Mega Man 6, we have the Blizzard Attack, although it was kind of weak in the original game. It probably got buffed in terms of damage here. The Fire Blast from Flame Man, probably as powerful as before, as well as the Night Crush, also super powerful. I loved using it back in Revenge of the Fallen, a Mega Man fan game that I will LP in the future, don't you worry. For Mega Man 7, we have the Wild Coil, kind of a very gimmicky weapon, but it probably got buffed over here, especially in terms of damage. Noise Crush, super useful, especially because you can bounce it against the edge of the screen. Danger Wrap, a pretty fun weapon, but it was a bit too situational in the original game. I see that you can drop mines by pressing the down button, so that's new. The Brick Dropper was renamed to be the Block Dropper, as Brickman's real name was revealed in a Mega Man 11 trailer. He's really called Blockman. In addition to all of this, profile icons of all the Mega Man 7 Roadmasters were added. 4 new example levels were added to the example category, those being Creepy Castle by Timelink, Kerosene Fane by C-Sketch, Storm Fortress, and Tower of Wily by Az. I will be covering those in their own separate part. The other main addition of this update was the inclusion of a Wily Challenge mode. Think of this as this fan game's equivalent to the 100-man Mario mode of Super Mario Maker. In this mode, the game creates a random Wily castle using the levels made by the community. You can customize how long and how difficult the Wily castle is. However, unlike the usual stages that you can play through in Mega Man Maker, you have a limited set of lives. And because of how it randomly picks levels from the community, some of your runs can be a lot harder and easier. It all depends on chance. At the beginning of every one of these levels, you can see the level name and the level creator, although I wish we could see the level ID as well. As you can see over here, here's our limited set of lives. Just like in Mario Maker, if a certain level is too difficult, you can choose to skip it by pressing the skip button at the cost of 1 life. I'm really thankful that the devs added this. I've been waiting for this ever since the creation of Mega Man Maker. In fact, it's kind of late, but better late than never. I would have preferred if we had more customizability, like setting how long the castle is itself, and I would prefer it actually tells me in advance how long this is. I will do several Wily challenges in the parts to come. In fact, that'll become a semi-regular fixture for this channel. I'll start with easy and short and work my way upwards. So my overall opinions on the version 1.4 update are very positive. I really like the fact that the devs went to the trouble of including the Mega Man 7 stuff this early. I totally expected them to start adding stuff from the Mega Man Game Boy titles, but nope, they went directly on to Mega Man 7, and I really appreciate it, as the 16-bit and 32-bit titles are rather unfortunately underappreciated in the fanbase. So glad to see that they're represented here. I'm also glad to see that there's a challenge mode finally added to the game. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer submitted levels, and then in the part after that, I'll be covering the 4 new example levels that were added. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!